vibrations and stay here with Joe Hill.
Hey,
Thanks so much for joining us. So we're gonna get you to answer some agony aunt questions, but first we wanted to just check your vibe and see that you're qualified to give advice.
See if you're ready for the deck.
Yeah,
I think I am, but let's.
I think so.
I think you are.
Vibe-wise,
I think you're going to be okay, but we have to do it.
Great.
So what is a piece of advice that a creative has given you that has really stuck with you?
Kill your babies. As in, like, and I remember I was like, what the fuck? Oh, sorry, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Every
We're not on the
single
BBC.
person
Yeah. I remember, so this amazing lady called Miranda, who I've always really admired, and like I used to do lots of theatre back in the day, and she was like, kill your babies, you know, like when your babies being your like creative, the things you've created that maybe there's a bit of ego behind and you care about it so much.
Yeah.
You've got to be willing to just get rid of it, make and get rid, and that's like what that phrase means. And I was like, wow, that's bloody true. It's a stinging message.
It's such a skill to have to learn as well. Like, this is so not the same thing, but I teach uni students, and I had to teach them with their essays. I was like, you'll have loads of ideas, and you just have to like put them away and just remember it for a later date, because it's like you actually can't give everything the time of day. But it's in that moment when you're actually faced with someone experiencing that for the first time, and you have to be like, it feels really horrible to have to like kill your babies, but it's but it will happen at another point.
It'll come.
Yeah.
The better new baby will be born. And even actually,
this is getting a bit like
Can you say like new and improved baby? I'm not
it
sure.
doesn't really okay, maybe we don't use the word baby.
Kill your favourites maybe,
Yeah,
but they're not your favourites. We're getting too wrapped up on the metaphor.
No, just kill.
Just kill your baby.
Just kill.
Just kill.
Why not?
Like a lovely sunny day, and we're like, just kill. Lovely. Like someone's gonna call the police on us. Like.
Yeah, it feels great to be stood on like a ledge with us, and we're like, just kill. Amazing. And secondly, what fictional character do you feel you relate to the most at this stage of your life?
Ooh, that's such a good question.
We're so obsessed with this. Every time we see anyone, we're like, we need to ask her.
That's wow. Lots of different characters are going through my head.
We were trying to think of one for you as well. It's hard, you know, when we haven't met you before, so it's a bit like you might be entirely different, or you know, more quiet or not. But we couldn't really think of one.
Guys, wow, you really got my head is.
Do you want us to vamp a little? Like, I say that I'm Paddington Bear, but also we were saying while we were sat here that I'm also Kimberly Finkel from Sex Lives of College Girls. Like, sometimes I do things and I'm like, that was Kimberly Finkel.
Okay.
And I've previously said I feel like Lorelai Gilmore, but I understand that there's good and bad points to that. But also I feel like I'm a combination between Phoebe and Monica from Friends.
Nice. Okay. Wow, my head was immediately going to like Disney, and I was thinking like Peter Pan.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I want to live in Neverland forever. I think as a woman, I feel like getting older and like thinking about responsibility in life and next steps. Maybe there's a little part of me that does feel like Peter Pan. Like, I know I don't want to get older, and I want to be a lost boy.
And that like boyishness, I get it. Yeah. Kind of just like playful. Like, I like that.
Yeah, I just want to hang out with my boys. Yeah. But that's like maybe one side of it. That I feel like, and then maybe a little bit of Bridget Jones, maybe feeling in my like Bridget Jones era, of just kind of going through quite a like transitional phase right now, and feel like I'm having lots of fun and like trying not to give a shit too much and making mistakes, but trying not to deep them.
I think that's
it's
a
like
good
Peter
pair.
Pan and Bridget Jones. Let's go.
I love that. That's like you're like moon and moon and sun. I think like
could never have predicted that one, but it works on so many levels. It's just really good.
It's funny that you say Peter Pan, because we were saying Tinkerbell.
Oh,
like that kind of like mischievousness.
Okay,
like,
I can fight with that. But no, definitely still Peter.
No, go with your gut. Like we can't tell you that.
So you are ready for the deck now?
I'm ready.
So you pick one and you give advice. Let's see.
Okay. I'm gonna go for this little puppy here.
Ooh, lovely.
Okay. I love being creative. Am I meant to read it out? Yeah. Okay, obviously. I love being creative, but I can't handle posting online anymore. Oh my God, babe, I feel you. I feel like I'm constantly performing, even when I'm being authentic. Is this normal burnout or a sign I need to change paths? Such a good question.
I'm so glad you pulled that one. Every card that everyone pulls, I'm like, yes, like I need to hear your response.
Wow, this is such a good question. Oh, Yeah, I mean, I could talk about this for ages, but I'll try and be as
we can get you on tuning in our longer episodes.
Yeah, go on.
We'll revisit
I love
if
being
there's
creative,
anything
but
you
I
miss
can't
off.
post online anymore. Okay, so I feel maybe what I'm going to say is quite controversial, but that first statement, I love being creative, but I can't handle posting online anymore. Like, almost, it shouldn't be a but. It's like a sad state of affair. It's not a sad state of affairs, actually. It's just the way it is. Right now, the world that we're living in, being creative is posting online. Like, there are other ways of doing it for sure, and you have to think about, basically, if you want to get your art out there, especially if you're an independent artist or you're someone coming up and you don't have loads of money and people backing you, you have to get on social media to get your stuff out there. And that's what I faced when I got dropped and was suddenly like, right, all I've really got is me and social media and like the music that I've got. And so once I accepted that as a truth and like a thing that I had to do, I was like, right, how do I make this as fun as possible? And how do I do this in a way that I find exciting? And I think the answer was just like, it's got to come from me, and it's got to come from trying loads of different stuff. And also, you've got to be embarrassing at some points. Like, you're not. There's very few artists that just start and it's like a million likes. Like, at every single level, I think I think every single artist, because I'm also a songwriter, so I write with lots of artists, and nobody I have met, nobody is like, I fucking love social media.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely love it. Everyone's got their anxieties, and a really helpful phrase that someone told me once that has like really stuck with me is, whenever you're thinking about posting or you're feeling anxious or you're feeling kind of like you're not feeling it, but you've got to post, is when you're on social media and you're kind of, it's such a place of comparison and validation, which are kind of really unhealthy feelings. Whenever you're kind of getting in that hole of being like, oh, I hate posting and they're doing so much better than me and blah, 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 just think you're comparing their outsides to your insides.
I love that.
Isn't that like the best phrase ever? And I think everyone should live by that, because sure, maybe someone went to Alicante and had a fucking great time with their boyfriend, but maybe they had fuckloads of arguments, and maybe they, you know, like, stuff happens behind the scenes and people can look like they're having the best time ever, and you know, but that's just their outsides, and we don't know the full story. And so all you can do in that is create stuff that, basically, the bar is, don't make stuff that cringes you out, because I think that's what I learned at the beginning. I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll try that, because people are advising you stuff, but follow your gut. If it feels cringy or like something you're like, oh, I wouldn't do that, don't do it. And don't, you know, I think actually my manager said this, she was like, it's not about getting a super viral thing, it's about consistency and building stuff up and connecting with fans. It's not, you know, don't be like disheartened if it takes you a minute, years to figure out what the best way to tell your story online. I think that's just, you know, something that I've struggled with so much, and it really fucks your mental health, being online. It's not normal, and you've really got to find strategies and ways of dealing with it. But that's a really helpful phrase that I've got. You're just comparing your insides to the outside.
It's that like unlearning that we were almost just talking about then as well, isn't it? It's kind of unlearning the idea of like, I need to make this because that's going to do well, and kind of having that attitude of like, I'm going to make what I want to make and the right people will find it. And I think that's,
we believe in that. Absolutely. It's staying authentic, isn't it? Because if you find yourself doing social media and posting for the sake of it, but it's not even what you want to post, that's when you're going to face burnout and you're not even going to want to do it full stop. But if it's just getting over little peaks and troughs, is that the word, the phrase? But it's all still what you want to do, and at the end of the day you still deem it worth it. You have to like think about, if it was all taken away, like, would you still enjoy what you're doing?
You've got to think of it as a footballer, right? Footballers, I'm sure there's some footballers that love dribbling and passing the ball, but they don't like scoring goals, and they're like, oh, I just don't want to do that. But in order to be part of the team and to do and play the match and be part of this thing that you fucking love, you sometimes are going to have to do that thing. You know what I mean? It's like, or it's like work emails, like people.
Do you think that, like, especially having released your album, do you think it's quite easy to separate that social media creation apart from the actual song making? Do you
have to be
find
really
that
careful? Like, so as soon as you're writing it for social media, I think you have to be like, you have to really check yourself. For me, I think I'm really lucky in that I'm a songwriter, so my job is I write songs every day for different people, and then I make music for myself. And so for me, like music for myself is like an escape, and it's a pure filter of emotion, and it's therapeutic. And there's been the occasional moment when I'm like, oh, maybe it needs to like reference this because of that, and I always try and check myself and go, no, Joe, like what do you actually want to say? Because I just don't think if you've just got to feel it and connect to what you're making rather than trying to fit an algorithm or something. If that happens, that's a bonus.
I think you gave them very good advice.
I think that was really good. I feel inspired by that.
Yeah, I'm like, I can make social media content. I can do it. Like,
let's not pretend it doesn't suck though. But.
Yeah. Amazing. Would you like to do one more?
Do you want me to take that for you?
God. Okay.
Hopefully it's something slightly different.
Yeah.
There's a variation in there.
Okay. Creating used to feel like second nature. Like things bloomed without trying. Now it feels like I'm chasing beauty instead of growing it. How do I find my rhythm again? Such a good question. Mate, these questions are great. Also, it feels like everything that I've been going through recently. So
I think there's something magical in the tarots that people actually are pulling like what they need to pull.
The cards like find you.
Actually, maybe I still need it just to check what it was. Yeah, no, I do. Not to get spiritual, but I'm like, hold my hand. I'm like, where do I feel? Here. Let's go here. Yeah, I feel like this is such a good question. And actually, I have a book to recommend whoever's asked this that I'm starting as of Monday. Now I've got off tour and I've got time to like read and stuff. Basically, it's a book that I'm so excited to read. It's called The Artist's Way, and it's all about kind of finding your inner creativity, breaking the mold a little bit. It's for people that maybe, actually it's for anyone, like, but if you're a creative, it can be really helpful, and it's just a book all purely on creativity, because I think creative fatigue is like a real thing, and if you're feeling that, then I think personally what I do, I think I always, I don't know, I can always feel like when I'm forcing an idea, but like you can't control creativity. You're gonna I remember someone saying to me once, I'm quite like hyperactive and come up with ideas like before I go to bed or in the morning or if I'm in that zone, and they were like, Joe, ride with this. It doesn't matter if you get an idea at a weird time or if you know, like you have to really like what's that book, the Rick Rubin book that I was reading, that's really great, a little bit wanky but like got some really good stuff in there, and what he describes creativity as is an energy, and I really believe this. It's like an energy that comes that kind of hits you, and it's like an alive thing, and you have to feed it and you have to work with it, and the idea will come to you, and if you don't use it, someone else will take it, so you have to like jump on it. Sorry, it's not Rick Rubin, it's a book called The Big Magic, which everyone has to read.
I think I've heard of that.
Big Magic, Artist's Way. Big Magic I couldn't recommend more. It's just about, again, it's about creativity and living a creative life, and she speaks so beautifully about it in a way that doesn't make creativity seem stressful. And I noticed this so much from, you know, pressure, and I feel like people create the best when they're in like flow state, and they're in a good headspace, and they've got no expectation of themselves. And I've experienced that myself. As soon as you start like aiming for things and forcing things, it becomes a bit more like forced. But I'd say those two books, 100%. And then also you're allowed to take a break. You're allowed to just like stop for a bit and be like, I'm gonna like do a fishing course, or like, I don't know, or go and do something else. Like, you don't have to be forcing yourself to create all the time, because I think the mistake that people make is like, the best artist out there, Prince was a janitor. Like, you've got to have something to speak about, rather than just like your whole life is this thing. You've got to have stuff to write about. Art is observing the world and putting it into words, and so like, how can you do that if all you're doing is in a studio all day? So go and find other things that like inspire your head, and then keep coming back to it. That's my advice.
The Artist's Way, the book, has been on my desk for ages now, and I feel like everyone just goes through phase, I'm gonna do it, and I feel like I'm always like waiting for a sign to actually just start it. So I feel like this is the sign. This is my sign.
The irony of it sitting and not being used is so funny.
I know, it's just been like holding my rings for weeks, and that's it. But it's gonna happen now. Maybe I'll start it on Monday too.
The idea of like waiting for inspiration to strike is so like such an interesting one. Like we're quite similar. Like we'll have an idea, and all of a sudden we need to like, even like with this, we met with a friend and then we walked away and we were like what if we did like a tarot card interview series, and we sat outside a cookie shop and basically came up with the whole thing, and then we went home and we sat on our dining table and just like made the tarot card design all in one, and that's how it happens.
Yeah.
Like, and I think,
You guys were feeding the creativity.
yeah. So you saying that, I was like, again, the layers. I was like, this is exactly what this is, and I think you can't do that. You can't force that. But it is frustrating when you're in those kind of quieter moments.
Yeah, it is. But you can't. Don't fight them. Go and do something else.
Yeah.
And I promise that creativity will come through that. Even just having a pint or whatever.
And like chatting to friends,
Yeah,
like even
yeah,
like non-creative friends. Sometimes I'll leave and I'm like something just
distracts.
sparked.
Yeah, exactly. Like broaden your world.
And do you have a song of yours that could maybe seal the spell of the advice that you've given today?
Zoom Out, baby. Zoom Out is a song that I've just released, and I think, I'd say that. Like, Zoom Out is kind of just like about just get some perspective. Sometimes in life you can get so like obsessed with a little thing, and then you forget to like look at what's really going on around you. And I know the song is kind of like, you're never going to need no man, but actually metaphorically what it's about is just like, talk to yourself like you're your best friend. Take a second, take a step back. It's all going to be all right. And I think that's probably that's the song of these, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing.
Right, brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I feel so like heartwarmed from your advice. Like, you're a very good agony aunt. Like, compliments.
We kind of had a feeling that you'd be quite good at this because you're friends with Sophie and Josie, who we love, and it's I feel like
I bet
it's a vibe
Josie
with
loves
people.
this.
Yeah.
Like, I want
so
you
her.
all on like an agony aunt panel. Like, and it's, but actually it's an agony aunt panel, except it's my own agonies, and I just want you three to like speak sweetly to me.
Love that.
Dream agony aunt rotation.
Absolutely. Amazing.
Right,
Thank you
great.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for listening. Bye.